This text conversation is a great example of what to do when the girl's either giving you silence or giving you very, very little. This was an interaction that I got the number, but I didn't think it was super solid. And I kind of knew from the start it might be difficult. And then at various times, she went silent on me. Or a lot of times, even when she wasn't going silent, she gave me these, especially at the start, these very short kind of responses. And so what I had to do, as per the model, is a lot of value offering texts, right? And a lot of just bringing it back from silence, being very patient, making things go the right way. So let's crack into it. So I started with the first text, hey, it's Todd, and then I sent a picture of myself. Now the reason I sent the picture was that the original interaction was very short, not super bought in. In fact, in order to even get the number, it wasn't very like man to woman, let's go on a date kind of a premise. It was more like, let's hang out, I have cool friends, maybe we can all be friends, that kind of a thing. Okay, so it was very much like a rushed number. So I didn't know that she'd remember me very well, and I knew I had my work cut out for me. So I sent the picture. Also, this picture is a picture that other girls have responded well to, so it was kind of field tested to work. Her response was, oh, hey, Todd, LOL with a bunch of L's. Now, this is really good in the sense that it is a response, first of all. And secondly, in all the different L's and that kind of stuff, like the bunch of L's is a very positive sign. However, it doesn't give me a lot to work with. Okay, it's not like she gave me a lot of extra information about herself. She didn't ask me questions. It's not a lot of buy-in. So I still have to kind of like provide the conversation. Also, I'm still of the mindset that I don't know that's that good of an interaction. So my next text is kind of interesting in the sense that it looks like I'm trying to make plans with her, but I'm really not, okay? What I'm actually doing is I'm continuing the idea under which I got the number, which is inviting her out in a fun way with me and my friends. I don't expect her to say yes. In fact, I expect her to say no or not even respond. But what I'm doing is I'm conveying that I have a fun, cool life that she'd want to be a part of. So in a way, even though it's an asking for plans text, it's not specifically asking for plans. It's more of a value offering text as in here's a glimpse into my life. Now, if she happened to say, hey, let's hang out, I would have figured something out. Actually, to be fair, I was so sure that she wasn't going to respond that it actually would have been difficult if she had said yes. But in any case, if she had, I would have maybe figured something out. So the message I sent was, oh, hey, her name, smiley face. Let me know if you're out meatpacking again tonight. Me and my friends are having a little welcome to New York City party. So again, I'm inviting her to join me and my friends at a party. I'm not inviting her to something intimate or like private or datey or anything like that. It's more just putting it out there that I have friends and we're having a party, more so than I expect her to actually show up. Okay, so it's more conveying a lifestyle, and as expected, she didn't really respond to that. It didn't require a response. So then I let it go a few days. She didn't really respond. Not a big deal. I got busy too. And then I sent her a follow-up text, just a value offering text. And this was, my friend, a reformed monk, sent me this as a picture of all these Asian guys dealing with their, morning wood. It's just like a cute little funny thing, whatever. It's just value offering. It doesn't require a response. In a perfect world, I think 4 days was a little too long to wait. I think 2 or 3 days would have been better. But the point is, I'm not super needy, but at the same time, I didn't wait 2 weeks, right? She still kind of knows who I am. Things are good. Things are on enough. I'm not texting her back in 6 hours, that kind of thing, okay? To this, she responds with 2 emoticons. Okay, so yay, she's responding. That's positive, but really she's giving me almost nothing. So you can treat this almost as a silence, and here you're going to try and just offer more value. So what I sent was, just saw a head-on collision, kind of makes you take a second and appreciate an uneventful Thursday with the little like slanty mouth face. Now finally she responds. Oh wow, that sounds terrible. Where was that at? I took the day off work to hang out with my sister who's in town. She's insisting we get matching tattoos. Finally, she's responding, she's opening up. This is really, really, really good. What I want to do here is actually create some back and forth exchange and just get to know each other, right? Get some normal conversation going, and then from there I want to maybe make it flirty and set plans. So right here I'm just going to ask kind of a follow-up question right away just to get her talking. So I said, oh, that's cute. Little sister, question mark. She responds, no, she's actually older. She wants me to get a neck tattoo with her name on it, crying, laughing, nuts. So here, again, she's definitely responding. This is looking really good. So now, because she's responding here, I want to go ahead and tease a little bit, make it a little more man to woman, that sort of a thing. And I think that's the right idea. I think that I did it in the wrong way. What I did here was a little bit too long, and also the fact that I looked up this picture was a little bit over-invested. And so it looks a little needy, a little bit over the top, that kind of a thing. It's also possible I just got unlucky and she just read it at a weird time, whatever. But my intuition is that I tried to do a little too much with this text. But in any case, the idea of flirting I think was right. And so here's what I sent. I wrote, the new her, winky face, if you do get it, can we also get you a switchblade and tell people you're my in-house assassin? And they send this picture of this girl with like massive tattooing. So to this, it was a little try hard. It was fun and funny and cute, so it doesn't really like destroy too much social capital or whatever, but I didn't end up getting a response. So now back to the drawing board. I'm gonna just send value offering texts. So I wait 2 days and then I send, I have a love-hate relationship with waking up in the late afternoon. Slanty face. Okay, so again, just giving a glimpse of my life. I'm lucky enough to have a lifestyle where I don't have to get up and go to work, so I like putting it in people's face sometimes. It's just another little glimpse in my life. Again, she doesn't respond. So now, I waited 9 days, and this isn't just because 9 days I needed to or whatever, it's just because I happened to be busy and whatnot. I think, again, 4 or 5 days would have been enough. Even 2-3 days, probably fine. I wouldn't send it like the next day. Give her some time to respond, let it sink in, etc. But then I send this text, which we'll talk about later. We'll talk specifically about this Dear Diary text and why I use it. But the idea is I'm calling out the fact that she didn't respond, even though my texts were cool, but I'm not butthurt, I'm not try hard, I'm not needy. It's in a fun, funny, interesting way. So what I sent was, Dear Diary, cute girl vanished, should I send search party? So now, hallelujah, she responds. Dear Todd, the girl's been located, call the search party off, work is kicking butt, how are you, question mark, exclamation mark. So this just goes to show, not getting a response a couple of times doesn't mean the girl's off. It just means she may be busy or she had other things on her mind, didn't get the text at the right time, or she likes you but you're not the highest priority, but it doesn't mean it's dead if you respond the right way. So now she's finally responding again. So I replied, I'm amazing, was also working like crazy, but we just finished a major project, so now I get to relax and explore the city for a while, smiley face. So here I'm doing a couple things. I'm being friendly and giving her a glimpse in my life, but I'm also doing the absolute minimum step in making plans. Right? I'm not saying, hey, I'm free to hang out with you. I'm saying I am out enjoying the city and not having massive obligations. So I'm kind of showing off again that I have a cool life and that my life's something she'd want to be in. But at the same time, I'm also indicating very subtly that if she wanted to happen to try and make plans with me, I might not be super busy right now. So if she jumps on the idea of making plans, great. If she doesn't, I didn't actually try. Right? It's the softest of soft closes. So she says, that sounds nice, exclamation mark, what do you do exactly? Okay, now she's overtly trying to get to know me, so that's very, very positive. So I responded, I'm a life coach and dating coach for men. Sometimes I'll respond that, sometimes I won't. My job's a little interesting in terms of that. But in this case, I said, fuck it, let's go with it. She goes, wow, that's interesting. I've never met a life and dating coach. Felt the need for one over the past month, LOL, which is an interesting indicator, by the way, right? Maybe she's like single, etc. Anything interesting going on this weekend? Maybe around your neighborhood on Saturday. So that's very positive, right? The idea of baiting it out there, like a couple of messages ago, let her know, I'm free, I'm partying, etc. Plus the premise I established where if you're ever in meatpacking, if you're ever in my area, maybe we'll hang out. So she's kind of going with it, right? Now, this is a very, very soft offer. This isn't an offer that I should jump on and try and make plans with her or whatever, but it's nice to know that's a possibility. It's nice to know that it's in the realm of what she's thinking about. So I don't want to be pushy about it, but if it happens, that would be great. So I reply, yeah, keep me posted. Definitely wouldn't mind grabbing a drink with you and or your crew at some point in the night. Or if you'd like to meet up before you go out, that's cool too. So I'm trying to keep it very casual, but at the same time, and actually even indicate that if it's her and her friends, I'm cool with that because I have very good confidence that if I meet up with her, I can do my work in person. However, I'm also indicating if she wants to meet up before, that's cool. Because a lot of times, say her friends are going out and meatpacking, she's meeting them there, why wouldn't she just come by for a drink with me? And then I get some one-on-one time, and that could be really good too. So I'm indicating I'm open to it, but I'm not making a big deal of it. I'm not pushing anyway. I also didn't specifically say one-on-one time alone. I just said meet up beforehand, to which she can imply and read into it whatever she wants. So again, it's a very soft close. I'm just very lightly hinting out there the idea of the close, but I'm not pushing anything. So then she doesn't respond to me at all Saturday. And you'll notice I didn't text her all day being like, hey, are you making it out? What's going on? What's this? What's that? That's the other. And partly that's because I'm busy and have a life and I'm not just exclusively talking to this girl, but partly it's because that might be a little needy, a little try hard because it was such a vague plan anyway, right? If I was leaving town the next day, I certainly would have pushed for it. But as is, I live in town, she lives in town, we like each other enough. There's a decent chance things will happen. Also, I know that on Saturday, or I think that on Saturday, she's probably with her friends. Or she said I might be in that area. That probably means she's with friends anyway. It's maybe not the optimal time anyway, so I don't necessarily want to push for it. So actually wait, she doesn't reply on Saturday, so then on Sunday, I just casually catch up with her. I say, you end up making it out, question mark. She goes, nope, I stayed in, went out last night, and I'm in terrible, terrible shape today. So I go, LOL, amateur. right? Again, playing up this image of I'm cooler than you, I'm more fun than you, my life's more interesting and fun. It's something you'd want to be in. So I'm just teasing her. And again, this doesn't require a response, right? Teasing like this doesn't require any response. Now, if she did respond and qualify herself or try and prove herself to me, that'd be great. If she doesn't, it doesn't really hurt anything. So in this case, she doesn't respond. So because she doesn't respond, we're back to value offering text. And so I send, the Friday dilemma, Brooklyn or meatpacking, Brooklyn or meatpacking. And again, she doesn't respond. Seems an MO. But I'm now going to look back at what she did before. Last time that I did the entitled calling her out text, it worked really well. So I know that's a blueprint that works. I'm in the same situation again, so I'm going to push the same button that worked before. And so I'm going to send the sort of entitled calling her out text in a fun, flirtatious way. And so what I send is, let's meet up before we both forget how attractive the other one is, winky face. Okay, again, entitled. Right? There's a time and a place for this, which we'll talk about later. There's a whole section about it later. But understand that not all persistence is needy. Entitled persistence in a fun way is high value. Okay, so this actually, again, ends up working, and she replies, Lo siento for the delay, happy hour later in the week, question mark. Wow, she's making plans with me. This is what happens when you're not needy. When you're cool and not needy and you kind of throw the plans out there lightly, a lot of times she'll actually start making the plans for you. So now she's suggesting happy hour later in the week. That's awesome. Now I just need to kind of play my cards right and not get in my own way. So I say, yeah, I could do tomorrow or Thursday. Now it's important to be available but not too available. You don't say, yeah, I could do Wednesday at 7, because that's so specific. If she can't do Wednesday at 7, you just killed a great opportunity. At the same time, you don't be like, yeah, I'm free all week anytime you want to meet me, because that's super low value. So I let her know these are the times I'm free. I give her a reasonable amount of time that a busy person could put aside, but enough time that it's very likely that she can make it work if she wants to. And so she responds, okay, let's do Thursday. I'll be free around 5:30 to 6 p.m. Sounds good, and we're away. So you can see how we took this interaction, which was very, very non-responsive, not giving me a lot, and through persistence, but the right kind of persistence, and being patient and playful and flirtatious, we're able to turn it around. And not only are we making plans, but we're making plans where she's actually suggesting it. So it's a great example of dealing with silence, turning it around, and playing sort of long lead texting. Even though this isn't super, super long lead, I think it took a total of, April 5th. It took a total of a month. So that's a month off and on via text, okay? So it's a fairly long lead. Most girls you're gonna end up hooking up with a lot faster, or meeting up with a lot faster. But it's very, very doable. It took some turning around, but patience was rewarded.